Hello, and a very, very warm welcome back to English Made Easy. It's so good to have you here with me today. Our whole mission, the reason this channel exists, is to help you learn English in the simplest, most natural way possible. We take big ideas, tough debates, and advanced vocabulary, and we break them all down so you can truly understand them and start using them in your own life. Today, we're going right to the heart of a question that I know keeps many of you up at night. It's a question whispered between friends, argued over at family dinners, and screamed from headlines online. Is college a complete waste of money? I want you to be honest with yourself for a moment. Have you ever looked at the cost of tuition and felt a pit of ice in your stomach, a feeling of pure impossibility? You hear the stories, graduates buried in debt, working jobs they could have gotten in high school. You see the numbers and you think, how could I ever pay that back? Is it just a trap? That fear is real, it's valid, and it's the single most powerful weapon in the argument against higher education. It's a feeling that can paralyze you before you even begin. My goal today is to build a very strong, very detailed case for why I believe that despite the very real problems with the system, college is one of the most powerful investments you can ever make in yourself. But I'm not going to do that by pretending the other side doesn't have a point. We are going to look directly at the scariest arguments, the debt, the uncertain job market, all of it. In fact, I challenge you. As you listen, if you feel that pull of disagreement, if a counter-argument burns in your mind, please, I would be so interested to hear it in the comments below. Let's make this a real, honest conversation. We're going to learn some incredibly potent, sophisticated words today. And I want to be clear, these are not just vocabulary for an exam. These are words that will help you dismantle weak arguments, build powerful ones, and articulate your own complex vision of the world. They are the tools of a sharp mind, the building blocks of true persuasion. I promise that by the end of our time together, you will understand exactly how to use these words, how to say them, and when they will give your own arguments more weight and precision. And please remember our deal. Say the words out loud with me. Even a whisper to yourself builds the muscle memory in your mouth and in your mind. I'll be speaking with the natural rhythm of a native speaker, so this is your chance to practice right alongside me. Let's jump in.
So let's start with the biggest, ugliest monster in the room, the debt. This isn't just a number on a page. For millions, it's a source of constant, grinding anxiety that casts a shadow over their 20s and 30s. It feels like starting a race with a massive weight chained to your ankle. The argument goes like this. Why would I willingly sign up for a decade, or 2, or 3 of payments that will dictate every major life choice I make? Where I can live, if I can afford to get married, when I can start a family. It's not a stepping stone, it's a cage. It's a powerful emotional argument because it feels so viscerally true for so many. The debt can feel like an albatross around your neck. Let's look at that word. It's a beautiful metaphor. Albatross. Say it with me. Albatross. Albatross. The stress is right at the beginning. Albatross. An albatross is a large seabird, but we almost never use the word to talk about the bird. This word comes from a famous old poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, where a sailor kills an albatross and is forced to wear the dead bird around his neck as a punishment for his foolish act. So now, an albatross around your neck is a powerful metaphor for a heavy burden of guilt, shame, or, most commonly, debt that you cannot escape. It's something that constantly reminds you of a past decision or a current struggle. For many people, that is exactly what their student loan statement feels like. An albatross, a constant, heavy reminder of a massive financial commitment. This image is so powerful that it often stops the conversation right there. Case closed. It's too much of a burden. But it's based on a fundamental, and I believe dangerous, misunderstanding of what debt is in this specific context. It frames college debt as a purely negative, consumptive thing, like credit card debt you racked up buying clothes or electronics you didn't need. But that's not what it is. Education debt is an investment in your single greatest financial asset, you. You are the artist and your mind is the canvas. The education is the set of tools you are buying to create a life of greater opportunity and meaning. Viewing it as just a burden, just an albatross, is a dangerously myopic perspective. We've seen this word before, but it is so central to this entire debate that we have to revisit it. Myopic. Say it again with me. Myopic. Stress on that middle syllable. A myopic view is a short-sighted one. It's focusing so intensely on the immediate cost, the upfront pain of the albatross, that you fail to see what that investment is actually building for you in the long run. It's like a farmer complaining about the cost of seeds in the spring, completely forgetting about the massive harvest they will bring in the fall. The farmer feels the pain of the expense now, but the reward later is exponentially greater. The data on this is not ambiguous, it is overwhelming. The Georgetown University Center on Education in the Workforce has done landmark research showing that over a lifetime, an American with a bachelor's degree will earn on average over $1 million more than someone with just a high school diploma. $1 million. And that's just the average. For many professions like doctors, lawyers, and engineers, the gap is many times larger. Let's make that number real. $1 million isn't just about having a fancier car. It's the difference between panicking when your car breaks down and being able to simply get it fixed. It's the ability to afford better healthcare for your parents when they get older. It's the freedom to leave a job you hate because you have a financial cushion. It is the ability to provide your own children with opportunities you never had. It is a fundamental shift in your level of security and freedom for your entire life. People who argue against college also forget to calculate the opportunity cost of not going. The cost isn't just the money you didn't earn. It's the promotions you were never considered for, the careers you were never qualified to even attempt, the doors that were invisibly closed to you from the very beginning. This invisible cost doesn't show up on a bank statement, but it is devastatingly real. So, is the debt an albatross? Yes, it absolutely can feel that way in the beginning, but it's an albatross that, if you carry it for a while, eventually transforms into a set of wings, lifting you to a level of financial security and opportunity that would have otherwise been completely out of reach. The myopic view sees only the burden. The wise, long-term view sees the tool that burden is building. You are not buying a product. You are investing in a more capable and valuable version of yourself. But then comes the next big argument, the modern counterpoint, the one that feels so 21st century. Okay, fine. Maybe education is valuable, but why do I need a formal, expensive, old-fashioned college for that? We live in the age of the internet. I can learn anything I want for free on YouTube or through online courses. College is an outdated, inefficient model that's about to be disrupted.
This is a seductive argument, isn't it? It feels empowering and smart. It contains a grain of truth. The amount of raw information available to us online is breathtaking. It is a universe of facts and tutorials and lectures. But this argument makes a classic, and I believe fatal, mistake. It confuses access to information with the development of knowledge. They are not the same thing at all. The internet is like a gigantic, chaotic, unorganized warehouse. Every piece of information in the world is in there somewhere, but it's mixed in with an equal, if not greater amount of misinformation, bad ideas, conspiracy theories, and outright lies. Worse, this warehouse is actively booby-trapped. It's filled with algorithms designed not to educate you, but to keep you clicking, to feed you things that confirm your existing biases, to pull you into an echo chamber where your own ideas are repeated back to you over and over again. Without a trained mind, the internet doesn't broaden your perspective. It narrows it. It can make you more confident in your own ignorance. It can make your worldview dangerously parochial. Let's learn this important word, parochial. Let's pronounce it together. Parochial. Parochial. The stress is on that second syllable, ro. Parochial. Parochial means having a limited or narrow outlook or scope. It describes a mindset that is only concerned with small local matters, unable to see or understand the bigger picture. If you only care about your own tiny neighborhood and have no interest in the rest of a huge, diverse city, you have a parochial viewpoint. The internet, paradoxically, can create a digital version of this. It can trap you in a tiny village of people who think exactly like you do, making you believe that your little village is the entire world. To find the truth in that chaotic warehouse, to escape a parochial mindset, you need a very specific set of skills. You need to know how to evaluate sources, how to identify bias, how to construct a logical argument, and how to separate a strong idea from a weak one. In other words, you need to be discerning. Let's look at this word again, discerning. Let's say it, discerning, discerning. The stress is on that second syllable, discerning. To be discerning means having or showing excellent judgment. It's about being able to recognize quality, to understand fine distinctions, and to see what is true and valuable. A discerning mind doesn't just consume information, it questions it analyzes it puts it in context. This is what a good college education is designed to do. It's not about pouring information into your head like filling a bucket. It's about building the mental architecture that allows you to process that information. It's about a professor, an expert in their field, who pushes you, challenges your half-formed assumptions, and forces you to defend your ideas against rigorous criticism. It's about a curriculum that has been carefully designed to take you from basic principles to complex understanding in a structured, logical way. It's the difference between wandering through that chaotic warehouse alone and getting a guided tour from the world's best curators, who not only show you the treasures, but teach you how they were made and why they matter. The goal of this process isn't just to learn facts, it's to become a more erudite person. That's a fantastic C2 level word, erudite. Say it with me, erudite. The stress is on that first syllable, erudite. To be erudite means having or showing great knowledge or learning that you have gained from deep study. It's a step beyond just being smart or knowledgeable. It implies a deep, scholarly, and broad understanding that allows you to make connections between different fields. An erudite person can discuss not just what happened in history, but why it happened, drawing on economics, psychology, and sociology. The internet can give you information. It can make you knowledgeable on a narrow topic, but it rarely makes you erudite. Erudition comes from the struggle, from the debate, from being forced to synthesize ideas from different fields, from writing a 20-page paper that requires you to build a single coherent argument from dozens of often conflicting sources. It is in this process of disciplined, critical thinking that true, lasting intelligence is forged. College, at its best, is an incubator for that. To pretend you can replicate that by casually browsing the web is to fundamentally misunderstand what real education is. But this brings us to another missing piece in the "I can learn it online" argument. Learning isn't a solitary act. The argument against college often imagines a lone scholar sitting at their computer absorbing knowledge. But that's not how human beings grow. We are social creatures. We grow through interaction, through challenge, through community. A university is not just the collection of classrooms and libraries. It is a crucible of human development. A crucible is a ceramic or metal container in which metals or other substances may be melted or subjected to very high temperatures. Metaphorically, a crucible is a situation of severe trial or in which different elements interact, leading to the creation of something new. College is a crucible.
You are put into an intense intellectual and social pressure, and you come out changed, refined, stronger. A key ingredient in this crucible is diversity. A university, by its very design, is supposed to be a heterogeneous environment.
Let's learn that word. Heterogeneous. It's a long one, but very useful. Let's say it. Heterogeneous. Heterogeneous. The main stress is on that G syllable. Heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means diverse in character or content. It's the opposite of homogeneous, which means all the same. A bag of M&Ms is heterogeneous. It contains candies of many different colors. A forest is a heterogeneous ecosystem with many different kinds of trees, plants, and animals. A university community is, hopefully, heterogeneous. You are surrounded by people who are not like you. They come from different countries, different religions, different economic backgrounds. They hold different political beliefs. They are studying different subjects. They have different ambitions and different fears. Imagine you grew up in a small conservative town where everyone knew each other and shared the same basic beliefs. Your first roommate in college might be a passionate socialist from a big city. The person sitting next to you in biology class might be a devout Muslim who prays 5 times a day. Your project partner in economics might have grown up in extreme poverty that you can't even imagine. This can be uncomfortable. It can be challenging. Your most deeply held beliefs will be questioned. Your assumptions about the world will be shattered. But this is where real growth happens. It forces you to defend what you believe or to change your mind. It builds empathy. It destroys a parochial worldview and replaces it with a more complex, nuanced, and compassionate one. You cannot get this from an online course. You cannot get this from an algorithm that only shows you what you already agree with. You only get it from the messy, complicated, and beautiful reality of a heterogeneous human community. This leads us to the most practical, down-to-earth objection of all. Forget all this fancy talk about erudition and heterogeneous communities. I need a job. And I see graduates with expensive degrees who are unemployed or underemployed. A degree doesn't guarantee you anything. This is true. It doesn't. There is no such thing as a guarantee in life. But this argument is based on a flawed premise of what a degree is for. Many people view a college degree as a kind of transactional key. You buy the engineering key or the marketing key. You put it in the door of your first job, and that's it. So if the key doesn't immediately open that one specific door, they feel cheated. They declare the key worthless. But a good education isn't a single-use key. It's a master key. It is a set of tools that allows you to open doors you can't even see yet. The world is changing at a dizzying pace. The jobs that are in high demand today might be automated or irrelevant in 10 or 15 years. The greatest danger in the modern economy is obsolescence. Let's look at this critical word again, obsolescence. Let's say it, obsolescence. Obsolescence. The main stress is on that less syllable, obsolescence. Obsolescence is the process of becoming obsolete or outdated and no longer used. In the world of work, your skills can also face obsolescence. If your entire job is based on a single piece of software or specific repetitive process, you are at high risk of your skills becoming obsolete. So the most important question is not, does this degree train me for my first job? The real question is, does this education give me the intellectual adaptability to succeed in my second, third, and fourth jobs that may not even exist yet? A good university education aims to inculcate a habit of mind that is resistant to obsolescence. Let's look at that verb again, inculcate. Let's say it, inculcate. Inculcate. The stress is on the first syllable, inculcate.
To inculcate an idea or a habit means to fix it firmly in someone's mind, especially by frequent repetition. It's like instilling a value so deeply that it becomes part of who they are. Good parents tried to inculcate a sense of honesty in their children. A great coach tries to inculcate a spirit of teamwork in their players. A great university education tries to inculcate a habit of lifelong learning and critical inquiry. It teaches you how to learn so that you can continue learning for the rest of your life. This is the hidden power of a liberal arts education, the kind that people so often criticize as useless. Studying history doesn't just train you to be a historian. It trains you to analyze conflicting sources, to understand context, and to build a compelling narrative from complex data. Skills that are desperately needed in fields like intelligence analysis, market research, and journalism. Studying philosophy doesn't just train you to be a philosopher. It trains you to think about logic, ethics, and meaning, skills that are invaluable for a lawyer, a doctor making life or death decisions, or a CEO building a corporate culture. These are not soft skills. They are foundational skills. They are the skills that allow you to learn new things quickly, to pivot to a new industry, to manage a team, to solve a problem you've never seen before. A specific vocational skill might get you your first job, but that broad, analytical, adaptable mind is what will prevent your career from facing obsolescence. It's the ultimate career insurance. It's the master key that will keep opening doors long after the specific, single use keys have rusted and broken. Finally, there's a deeper societal argument that often lurks beneath the surface. It's the idea that college is fundamentally unfair. It's an elitist system that benefits the rich and leaves everyone else behind. The argument is that by promoting college, we're just reinforcing an unjust social structure. And we must be ruthlessly honest. Higher education has a massive problem with equity. The children of wealthy, educated parents have enormous advantages. The system is far from a perfect meritocracy, but to use this imperfection as an argument against college is to get it completely backwards. For all its flaws, a college education remains the single most powerful catalyst for social mobility that we have ever invented.
Let's define that word again. Catalyst. Say it with me. Cat-ta-list. Catalyst. The stress is on the first syllable. Catalyst. A catalyst is something that causes a great change to happen. A college degree is a catalyst for personal transformation. It is the most reliable way for someone born into poverty to move into the middle class or beyond in a single generation. It can break cycles of generational poverty that have lasted for centuries. For a smart, ambitious young person from a disadvantaged background, a college scholarship is not just an education, it is a lifeline. It is the catalyst that can completely rewrite the future of their entire family. To argue that we should discourage people from this path because the path is imperfect is a cruel logic. It's like seeing a lifeboat with some leaks and telling people they are better off just staying in the freezing water. The answer isn't to abandon the lifeboat, it's to patch the leaks. This brings me to the core of the issue. A college education isn't just a private good, something that benefits only the person who gets it. It's also a public good. It benefits all of us. A society with more educated citizens is a healthier, wealthier, and more stable society. It's a society that is better equipped to solve its most complex problems, from climate change to public health crises. And crucially, it's a society that is more resistant to demagoguery. This is a vital concept to understand. Demagoguery. Let's say it. Demagoguery. Demagoguery. The stress is on that gog syllable. Demagoguery.
A demagogue is a political leader who seeks support by appealing to popular desires and prejudices rather than by using rational argument. Demagoguery is their method. It's a style of leadership that thrives on fear, anger, scapegoating, and simplistic, emotionally satisfying lies. Demagoguery is like a virus, and its favorite host is an uncritical mind. It preys on people who don't question what they're told, who don't check sources, who can't spot a logical fallacy, and who are easily swayed by emotional appeals. What is the best vaccine against this virus? A liberal education. A real education, the kind we've been talking about, is designed to be a direct antidote to demagoguery. It teaches you to be skeptical of simple answers to complex problems. It trains you to analyze arguments, not just accept them. It forces you to engage with perspectives that are different from your own. It gives you the historical context to recognize when a leader is using the same old dangerous tricks that have been used time and time again throughout history. An educated citizenry is a firewall against tyranny. So, when we talk about whether college is a waste of money, the stakes are much higher than just one person's future salary. The stakes are the health of our democracy and the quality of our shared public life. This is the heart of the matter. Every single major argument against college, the debt, the rise of the internet, the uncertain job market, the inequality, is based on a real, significant problem. The debt is an albatross. The internet is a chaotic source of information. The job market is unforgiving. The system is inequitable. But the conclusion that, therefore, we should abandon college is a catastrophic failure of logic and imagination. When a system is broken, you don't throw away its purpose. You rectify its flaws. This is a great strong word. Rectify. Let's say it. Rectify. Rectify. Stress on the first syllable. Rectify. To rectify something means to put it right, to correct a mistake or a bad situation. It's a stronger, more active word than fix or improve. It implies that something is fundamentally wrong and needs to be made right again. You rectify an injustice. You rectify a factual error. You rectify a flawed system. This is our real task. This is the conversation we should be having, not if college is valuable, but how we can rectify the system to unleash its full catalytic power for everyone. We need to rectify the student debt crisis with more public funding, better loan terms, and massive expansions of grant programs. We need to rectify the gap between academia and the real world by better integrating career preparation, internships, and apprenticeships into all fields of study. We need to rectify the inequities by pouring resources into our public school system and making college a real, affordable possibility for every talented student, regardless of their parents' income. And there is, of course, a final caveat to this entire argument. Let's practice this one last time. Caveat. Say it with me. Caveat. 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 A caveat is a warning or a condition. And the big caveat here, the one that I need to say directly to you, is that college is an opportunity, not a magic spell. The value is not magically bestowed upon you when you receive your diploma. It is forged in the 4 years of effort. It is earned in the library, in the late-night study groups, in the professor's office hours, in the courage to take a class that scares you. The student who hides in the back row, who does the bare minimum, who cheats their way through, they will likely find that college was a waste of money. But that is not an indictment of the institution. It is an indictment of their own lack of engagement. The potential is there, but you must be the one to activate it. The university opens the door,
but you have to walk through it, run through it, explore every room, and climb to the roof to see the view. The ubiquitous, pernicious idea that college is a waste is an argument for mediocrity. It's an argument for taking the easy path, for thinking in the short term, for shrinking your ambitions to fit the size of your immediate fears. It is an argument that, if we accept it, will lead to a future of personal and societal stagnation. I stand for the opposite. I believe that the struggle to become an erudite, discerning person is the most noble struggle there is. I believe that an investment in your own mind is the only investment that can never be taken from you, that will never face obsolescence. The purpose of an education is not to help you earn a living, it is to help you build a life. What do you think? Do you agree? Or have I missed something vital? Write it down in the comment section. I truly want to hear what you think. Thank you so much for joining me for this deep dive. To make English a natural part of your life, listen every day. It's the surest way to improve. Until next time.